called in
to Bucks and Brews, you might hear something
you can use.
like tips on your cash or tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use
smarts of these studs.
because they know the brews.
And they know the Bucks. And they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, because shit's not funny.
And save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks.
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
And
brews.
brews.
Bucks and Brews.
Welcome back to Bucks and Brews. Nick, you're going to be off for a couple weeks.
Soon, very soon.
So we're going to try and get two in today. But what are you drinking, my friend?
Oh, all right. So it's only 1 o'clock.
It's
which
only
has
1 o'clock.
Never been an excuse for me.
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't realize, that we were drinking today. So I'm exhausted too. I grabbed a buy.
Okay.
Real quick on it. So drank last night.
Yeah.
I've pulled my sciatica, and so I'm on a lot of medication right now.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think I'm just exhausted from my medication. So it's I'm trying to have. I don't drink energy drinks, so I need a little bit of energy to give me something. I'm just if I drink a beer, I'm gonna pass out. So what do you got going?
I'll bring up the Bucks and Brews part. So I got a strawberry lager from Abita Brewing down in Louisiana. After that, I'm going to drink water because
I'm headed there here soon. I'm gonna have to go check out
you
that.
might have to check that out. There you go. So we have guest day.
Guest day.
So we're joined by George here. George, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know if you're drinking anything.
Hey, yes, I'm drinking a Perrier with a lime.
Oh, say one of them fancy waters.
Still at the office.
It's still at the office.
We know how that goes.
Yeah.
All right. So, George, you're an entrepreneur, you're an investor. Kind of tell us a little bit of what you do, and then we'll start asking a bunch of questions.
Yeah, so I had a couple of companies, starting with a transportation trucking company as an immigrant. I'm a U.S. citizen now. I came here in 2012, started enrolling as a truck driver, owning multiple trucks, a trucking company, a brokerage. Then I didn't like it, and then I wanted to start to do the real estate. We were doing the real estate, the short sale, basically people in foreclosure. We are helping them to get off the debt and helping them to relocate. So I like the idea of the real estate, most likely the financing side of the real estate. And then throughout the time, I met with a couple of people that they were helping basically business owner get access to funding. So I started funding trucking companies that I had experience. So started with trucking companies, 2018 basically till now. I call it from buying equipment for equipment financing, SB loans, commercial real estate. So when any trucking companies call me saying what I do, I say, hey, I can help you starting from buying your first truck to your truck terminal. So whatever it's from your first truck to the terminal, I get you done. So
That's great.
funded multiple companies, participate in the multiple business acquisition, partner buyouts. We doing deals nationwide, funding SBA owner occupied. There's the best deals right now going on. Because basically the idea is as an example, I have someone that were paying $10,000 in rent for the business building. They got it with 10% down, and the mortgage payment is $9,000. So
There you go. So you're not driving anymore then?
no,
Strictly just doing the financing part.
Yeah,
Okay.
we sold the trucks and everything. Get out many years ago.
Okay. What's your favorite brand of truck?
The Volvo.
Volvo. All right. So you look like a 13-liter shit spreader kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Say, you don't like those internationals? Say, I did logistics quite a bit in my day too. So
Back when you used to work.
back when I had a job. So no, it was all right. So but you're financing everything in a logistics business, including the buildings.
Yeah, I finance any type of business, but I'm like 60% of my clients are in logistics. So I do.
Yeah.
We have hotels right now, some hotels, motels, manufacturing, restaurants. We do everything nationwide.
Okay. Now, are you guys private money, hard money? Are you
Private, SBA, conventional. I have over 1,000 banks in my Rolodex. I can
Okay.
get access to. So You
No, is SBA a minimum of $1 million loan?
no, it's 450 something like that. 450. I call it 500 because it's so much work. I mean,
Fees and all that, yeah.
I do the, let's say, $4 million loan, and I do the 500. I do the same process, the same thing, but so I like to get like at least minimum.
Yep.
I,
Uh, so, and I guess you didn't enjoy driving anymore, so you took and decided to go into the lending side of things.
yep, yep.
Now, what does that I say? What does that look like to stop being a driver? Because I mean, right? What were you making? Like $100,000 as a driver,
I
or
was
were
a
you
driver only
owner
3 months.
occupied?
I was a driver only 3 months. I
Only
started
three.
buying
He said I was
trucks.
done with this shit
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Say, all right. Say, okay. So then how do you? I mean, do you have to take classes to do what you're doing? Like, what do you? How did that transition look?
Yeah, so I had the transportation company. I was making basically more money than I was able to understand what to do with them. And I
Mhm.
was like, yeah, let me do something, like let me invest. And I found a mentor. They were doing real estate. And do you hear me all right? Because I had
Yeah, of
this
course.
very echo. So I went to a conference and I found this guy. They were doing those like 40 houses a year, flipping, buying through the investor stuff and from the banks. And I asked them, hey, how much do I need to pay you to teach me? And he's like, 7,000. And like, boom, I got him the check. Actually, 6 months later, once like I was running my stuff already, like understanding the thing, he's like, I couldn't believe he gave me the check.
Yeah.
But
What
he teach me all this. I made hundreds of times the money. The idea is like, so I gave him the check. I went to his place for 2 weeks, to his office. We were going to the banks and understanding like the relationship, the approach, the strategy behind the scene. It's totally worth it. So I mean, sometimes I make a deal, now I make 10, 15 grand, so doesn't matter.
So he was a real estate focused guy, and then he
Real estate and finance, and
and finance.
obviously
Okay.
big thinker, because like he was buying 40 houses a year from the bank. It's
From the bank. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
now
you're a real estate guy,
I am.
but finding mentors kind of an important thing
Oh
when
yeah,
you're in real estate, is it not?
I think in anything, right? I mean, any
anything. Yep.
right. Um, finding somebody that can guide you in the correct direction to do something to be better than what you set yourself to be, right?
Somebody bounce ideas off of.
Exactly, right? So all right, so he's not just strictly real estate focused, he's in the lending side of things as well. So that kind of the
Business.
business
So
side.
when
Okay.
somebody comes to us, I'm looking from a perspective as a business owner, from perspective as a lender, as a banking, like like how to mitigate risk, and from the perspective as an investor in a business. Would I invest in that business? What do I need? What do you need to do as a business owner for me to be interested in doing that? So it's all depends. I tell them my opinion, how reality is, and what they need to expect, and then they decide what's the best. Because I provide them multiple options. I tell them, hey, what's your 6 months goal, 1 year, 3 year, 5 years? What are you planning to do, and stuff like that. I have clients started with me buying a couple of trucks, 5, 6 trucks, 2018. Then last year we did like over 3 million, and then some, like one of the partners, basically they bought out one of the partners. So I did the whole like throughout the years I was doing the whole thing. So
Okay. And now, so this mentor got you to go into banks and start that conversation. What does that look like?
no, that was the first mentor for real estate. Then
Yep.
I found someone else, and he was doing the business loans. And I asked him, hey, what do I need to know about your business to bring you more clients? So I had a lot of friends that they needed funding, finance. Everybody needs funding. You need funding to stay in business, to grow a business, to open a business, and to buy a business. So if you are an entrepreneur, you need money. Always need money. I mean, if you cheap money, good money, it's always Welcome. And basically, I was with the guy on the phone. He was explaining them how it works, and then I was kind of like writing everything down. And then I was talking with the people. I was taking the application, and eventually, a year later, I opened my company, and I was doing the thing. As you said, look, people driving trucks for years. I was driving it for 3 months, and then I started buying trucks. So
Yep. Okay. So now, with your business mentor, so did you buy any real estate from your first mentor, going to the banks and things
we
like
were
that?
flipping it. We were flipping. We had like a an investor. He was buying. We were basically negotiating. An investor was buying it, so we would just take in the spread
Sure. Okay. So you're doing
because
some
he was had
wholesaling
more
there.
money to. He was buying them, rehabbing. Look, I mean, I'm not looking to take the whole move. I just like take the meat and move on. Get like the easy stuff and like get 80% of the move and move on. It's like you're fighting so much for this like little what is left. So you just take the cake, the piece of the cake, and move on. So I don't like when I had the trucks, I didn't like the repair and stuff. I had a guy like, hey, fix it and just tell me how much it's worth, and I'll pay you. I don't care. I'm not looking to save a couple dollars. Just I love my life. I don't want to hate my life, and here we go. I'll pay you for making my life easier.
Sure. Um, okay, so we're in the banking. Now you're negotiating with the banks, you're doing all the underwriting. Um, and anybody can come to you with any business and you get to underwrite that business.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess so how does somebody find somebody like you?
LinkedIn. I over the last 30 days, I got request in over $40 million for funding for LinkedIn for buildings.
Okay.
So LinkedIn, usbusinessfunding.net, usbusinessfunding.net, my website. Trucking finance loans, it's in the top two pages on LinkedIn, on Google. I got my partner. He's ranking that. He's doing the magic with the SEO. So I kind of like so my company is like divided in three chapters. It's equipment financing, SBA loans,
Yep.
and commercial real estate. So my focus is commercial real estate. I have two other partners that they run the other departments. So LinkedIn, and now on your podcast and
Yeah.
everywhere.
What do you like about commercial real estate?
Well, so the idea I told my clients, commercial real estate, it's your retirement. So we closed recently a deal. Basically, this client is gonna make 10 to 15 grand over once he pays the mortgage. So you can live with 10, 15 grand. And on a commercial, it's not like a multifamily or you buy an apartment, like you gotta, fix stuff and, it's 1 year lease. Over there is like 5, 10, 15, 20 years lease. So it's triple net. So basically, you're responsible for the roof and for the parking. Everything else is to the tenant. So
Okay. So on your triple nets, you're responsible for roof and parking?
yeah.
Okay, I
It's
say.
kind of the idea. That's how it works. Is like there is like total net lease. Sometimes it's they responsible, but overall the idea is like you got the roof and the parking. Everything else is done by the tenant. Just taking
So
care.
what kind of businesses are in these type of triple net leases?
Most of what I do owner occupied. Because let's say somebody is paying the rent for the building, right? They occupying the building. So the idea is like, I had someone that were paying rent for 7 years, and there's nothing to show, right? But over the last 7 years, some buildings double in value, like from 2 million to 3 million to 4 million, and you build enough wealth because every payment you make it goes towards your equity, and you keep the bottom line. So I'm focused more on owner occupied, which is helping the small business owners. I was a business owner. I'm still a small business owner. For the triple net is basically more competition. I'm trying to stay away, and those clients they gonna shop you around until your head is spinning, and you're gonna run away with so many things offering them like small you gotta fight for cents. I don't like to fight for cents. So if I have somebody that is like serious, responsible, and a commitment, I get them the best deal, and nobody back it off because it's like it's a process, and like they don't have the experience. I explain them all the steps, what they need to do, then I connect them with the bank, and the things get done.
So okay, so you're not buying commercial real estate, you're helping the
Yeah.
lending side of commercial real estate.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So
We're planning
um
to buy mobile home parks. Mobile home parks. We're looking at some right now.
sure. Yeah,
So that's kind of the idea. We're gonna double down on that on the mobile home parks.
sure. What area are you in again?
Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So we're
I love
looking
Milwaukee. It's a great
2 hours
area.
away. Two
Yeah.
hours away from like the radius. 2 hours away. So
Okay.
to get into the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of investors over there. So all right. So you're trying to get the leaseholders of the triple net. So I mean, are you I guess since you're not buying them, um, a lot of triple net leases things. You'll see Walgreens. Walgreens doesn't own any buildings,
Yeah.
right? They lease all their buildings, and so they're, an A-rated tenant, um, and so they're going to be responsible to take care of everything. They're going to write a 20-year leases. George said, every 5 years, right? They're going to have a rent increase because taxes are going to guarantee to go up. Things are going to go up.
Sometimes every 2 years.
Yeah,
It's
right. But they're responsible for the gas, the electric,
Mhm.
the property taxes itself, right? And everything's written. A lot of Wendy's are triple net leases. Um,
A lot of businesses do not own their property.
correct. Most people,
Most don't.
say and buildings are kind of expensive, but on that a triple net lease isn't going to be your highest returning asset,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Where I mean, what are you seeing for an A-rated company? Which I mean, gosh, Walgreens used to be, but like now, I mean, I'm scared because they're closing. But like, right? I mean, what are you
Yeah.
seeing for cap rates on something like that?
Well, 7, 8. I mean, it's not like 12.
Eight's really good, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm seeing them for sale all the time for 5, right? And it's like, who's buying a
Yeah.
5 cap rate when
It's compressing right now. It's compressing the rates and the price, and it's that time in the cycle when uh, people don't want to face reality, so they gotta face it. That there's gonna be a day they gotta face, and they gotta make a decision because you can't just ignore it for so long.
Yep.
But for the small business owners, it's like you're building wealth. It's like, look, you buy it for your business. You don't buy it to flip it. So every payment you make goes towards your equity. And I mean, I tell them, look, I have a deal right now. We closed last year in June, and the seller reach out back to the client, to my client, is like, hey, I want to buy your building back, and they offer 1 million over. And I
Okay.
told my client, because he was like, he's like, I see, I know that this is real, but he was like kind of shocked, like, so like in 9 months, like 1 million over. I told him, hey, 1 million is just to get it started, because like all this thing with cherries and everything, they're gonna go higher. It's gonna be a lot of demand. See all this money coming to the country, it's gonna be par somewhere, so the prices, it's still gonna go higher. It's not, I mean, it's gonna be a correction, but eventually it's gonna go higher and higher, because that's how it
I mean,
works.
that's all right. That's how history says, right? I mean, history says
Yeah.
that things will
Yep.
always go up, right?
Yep.
You have to have a low in order to have a high. So, if you and I could predict a market, we wouldn't be sitting here talking to each other,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. I'll be a
So,
We'd be on a
billionaire, at
beach.
least, at
right.
least, at least a billionaire,
Oh
at
yeah, I
least
mean,
a
right? Like,
billionaire. But
say I'd
that
like to see how many people, we talk about it all the time. Like, I don't know how many people yesterday were talking about the market and how it crashed, and it's correct, but I don't know. I threw money in the market yesterday,
Me too.
and then I got lucky today, right? Because it's
it's
back to it. But I'm gonna take it back out because I've made the money I want to make. So, but right, I can't predict anything. So, um, I think now commercial buildings. Are you doing strictly owner occupieds, or are you
we
helping?
focusing, yeah, on owner occupied, because
Okay.
you mentioned about not too many, a lot of people rent.
Yep.
Why? Because they don't understand the financing side, how to do it. They think it's overcomplicated and a lot of so when they come to me, I present them multiple option. Let's say even as SBA, I have like 3 4 option SBA. Because let's say you go into the bank, it's gonna take you 3 4 weeks to go to the process, and then they say no, and you feel devastated because it's you went through all this hustle and you hate everyone in financing. So when they come to me, I spoke with the banks that I have a relationship. I already done the pre-qualification myself, run the underwriting, and I tell them like right on the spot we see like it's a yes or no, and then basically I have a better understanding how fast we can do the deal and what's gonna happen.
Gotcha. Um, now, so and you now, I guess, how do you make money? You make money because you're underwriting the deal, so you're putting in a fee.
I I get paid by the bank, and sometimes if bank don't pay, the client gotta pay me. But it's basically I do the work for them. Look, there's like thousands of banks. There is 7 or 8 thousand banks in the United States, and you as a business owner, you super busy, and if you have time to do that, good luck. But it's hard, and you don't. Commercial real estate is tough. It's they're gonna beat you in the ground, and it's because you need the team. You need to have like a commercial broker. You need someone like me to guide you, because I have multiple options lined up. If something doesn't go right, we move to the next, and it takes me a day or two to give you 5 options, and those options 90% that they're gonna close, but it can take you 3 4 weeks to check just one option, and it may say no, and then you hate everyone.
Right.
So it's I do the
Same.
work. I do the work. I prepare the docs, and I make sure the banks understand the business structure, and they understand the whole model. Because if they don't understand it, they're gonna say no. That's the whole thing. Because I have situation when there's nothing wrong with the business, but the way banks see the way the owner of the company explains themselves, the way they show how they're gonna do things, the banks don't understand, and that's why they say no.
So, I guess what type of information would you need if if I wanted to come to you for lending, what type of information would you need right away?
For the building.
Well, because what if okay, so do you guys finance the building or the business itself? So I'm looking, let's give an example. Currently, I'm looking to buy a bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do business acquisition as well, franchise. Let's say if using an SBA, it's 10% down. So when you're buying a business with real estate, obviously we're looking at the business. Everything is based on the business. We get the cash flow on the business, the profit and loss, that schedule, everything on the business. Then you just have from your side, you gotta have uh, credit score, down payment, and basically no criminal or stuff. So
Is that
that's
is that in my name or is that in my business name?
it's gonna be in a business name. This is a business loan. It's small
Sure.
business,
Perfect.
so it's a business loan. But you're the personal guarantor of the business.
Yep. So,
So
and now
that's
you guys require personal guarantees?
yeah, for SBA, yeah, they
Okay.
wanted to have it,
Yeah, perfect. So,
but
um, I guess can you explain to those who might not know what a personal guarantee would mean?
yeah, so basically, personal guarantee, they go. Let's say if you have a house, then they gonna put a lien on that, and if you default, then they're gonna go after your personal stuff.
Yep.
So
So, yeah, so most people think like an LLC, right? It's like this get out of jail free. If that LLC fails, you don't owe anything. But with a personal guarantee, you're putting your name as that, so they get to
yeah,
go
so
do that.
even though let's say you have a house, right? I mean, some people say, "Hey, my house is like 700,000." I said, "No, stop." So how much you own on the bank? I mean, how much you own to other banks? So you owe 500,000, so you have 200,000. So actually, yours is 200,000. And I tell them, look, I mean, do you have a home equity line of credit? I mean, for your equity, because that's your money, right? So I mean, let's say you have a home equity line of credit, then the bank may put the lien, may not. If there's not enough equity, then they just say, hey, it doesn't matter. So like, if some, I mean, that's how it works, and I try to educate my clients. So look, I mean, that's equity. You get a home equity line of credit, and just in case you need more cushion for the business, you just use that line of credit, like home equity line of credit, to push the business. So you get the point. Let's say you have a 150,000 home equity line of credit, but you don't use it. But the bank, whenever you buy something, they gotta consider it's fully used. So it's like
Yep.
it's your, you got the point, right? Your money is your
Yeah.
money, and
Well,
the way
yes, and that's what makes it hard is, right? I mean, when it comes to it, your debt to income, yeah,
also,
every loan looks at it as it's already spent, even though it's not spent in your eyes.
yeah. But I mean, that's to your advantage, because like I mean, y- it's in your advantage. I believe it's in your advantage because it's, you still have more wiggle room to move, to go on. And the thing is, it seems complicated, but at the same time, it's so simple. And let's say you don't have the money, but you have the experience. You like with the bar, right? Let's say you looking to buy like a $2 million bar with the real estate. You've been a bartender or you were running bars before, and let's say your buddy has the down payment, so you can get him into the LLC, let's say 20-30%. And so basically everything is on you. He's just the silent partner, is bringing the capital, and you guys do the profit sharing. So it doesn't need to be your money. Or you can do 10% from the bar owner that it's selling, saying, hey, I'm willing to buy it for this price, but I need you to do 10% seller finance, and at the closing you get the 90%. So you buy it with a, you just basically don't use any of your money, you just use your credit to get it.
Yeah. No, no, SA. If you can get somebody to hold a second for a little bit of money, that's, it works the same in residential real estate as well. So,
But with
um,
the business, you much faster getting out of the second, and it's much easier to create it, because it, it it's it's much easier, way much easier. With the real estate, you're limited, like how much, I mean, how much you're gonna charge. Or but with the bar, or with the any business, you can do so many things: cross sell, upsell, to increase the revenue, to double up.
so I get, how are you finding your clients? I mean, are you going on to, like
I
Crixie or, oh man, what are the commercial
Oh,
websites out
Crexy.
there? Yeah, I say, are you going on there? Are you using that? Are you pulling data? What are you doing?
Uh, I have access to that. I was that thing. The data is like my B plan, but I work with the commercial brokers that they have clients. So the advantage, as I get them qualified much faster, like in days, not in weeks, sometimes in hours, and I can actually close those loans. And it's a win-win for everyone. So that's through referral partners. And then I speak two other languages, Romanian and Russian, and a lot of people know me in the community, and I do content. I write content on LinkedIn every day. I have a ghostwriter, and I do it myself as well. So it's
Okay.
I used to have a media company. We were generating leads. I used to work. My media company was generating leads for one specific product, and the bank, they were not able to process all these applications that we were sending. They were like
Yeah.
confused. Why so many? How so many?
Well, saying that's, I mean, that's great that you guys are sending in that much that a bank is concerned, right? I love the hustle. It sounds like you guys stay busy all the time, so which is great. Um, now, let's say, all right, the with so with a growing business, right? So I mean, David's family owns a business here or whatever. So now, what's you said the acquisition part of it is, let's say, minimum 500,000 to own the building. Um, Now what if we just need a couple pieces of machinery? Can we come to you for a loan for something like
Yeah,
that?
yep.
Okay.
I'm a part of American Association of Commercial Finance Brokers. So basically, most of those equipment lenders they over there, so we have a chat, and let's say any type of equipment. I call it 20,000 to 30 million. I get it done.
Okay.
So it's whatever you need. I mean,
And does that include the install of the product? And
Yep, the some
okay.
lenders they do that. Yep, they do the installation and everything. It's basically 100% with cost included with all the costs.
Yeah, which is great. Right. And a lot of people, they just got to find the right people like you that can help take them to that next level.
Yep.
One thing I guess David's looking at as well. So do you guys do new construction loans, and how does that work?
Residential. Yeah, we have
You'll
lines
only
of
do
credit.
residential.
Uh, I have options for commercial, but right now it's just a bloodbath, and everybody's full. Imagine you have like two bags full of potatoes, and you don't want to take more potatoes, right? You just I'm full, so that's the commercial real estate situation. And I have a couple loans last year. They spent like 100 something thousand in permits, and they back it off. So it
Wow.
for as of right now, it's gonna take a couple of years to digest, and it's most of my banks they say, George. I mean, I may consider, but I don't want to consider the
Yep.
commercial. Because look, I mean, uh, uh, as I mentioned earlier, I love my life. Why do I need to hate my life? Because I'm gonna hate my life once I start the process. Because it's I can't just say, hey, let's get it started, and in the middle of the process, no, because I'm conscious that like if I start, I gotta go through. So I gotta take all the hits, and I don't want to take it because it's not worth it.
Yep.
And it may uh, the situation is so like turbulent, like when you go through turbulence, no, you don't know what's gonna happen, and it's the process is so long and is so much uncertainty, so it's basically not worth it. I mean, I tell them, look, you're not a developer, you're a business owner, right? The idea is like you're doing your business and you're moving from one facility to another facility. You close today, tomorrow you start running the business from this facility. You have no experience developing. Like, I mean, uh look, I asked them, hey, have you ever done like a remodeling in your house to understand the hustle? Because when you do a commercial development is like 10 times harder, and you gotta be ready to lose 100 200,000 just like that and not feel bad. I mean,
Right. Saying that's, I mean, right when you're getting into the commercial side of things, money's a
yeah,
heck
yeah.
of a lot, a heck of a lot
Oh
bigger.
yeah, it's the
Say,
fees and stuff. I mean, you gotta pay like sometimes 100 grand just for the broker for the commercial. So it's, and then me, the other fees, the lawyers,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
no, see, it adds up. I mean, quickly. Um, and now, so in your trucking industry side of things, um, what happens? So what happens on a? So you're not. Are you putting the lien on the tractor trailer itself?
yeah,
So is it just like a repossession if something does happen?
yeah. So sometimes people come in like, hey, I need a cash loan so I can buy a truck or a trailer.
Yep.
So I'm taking time to understand, like, like, hey, explain me more about your business. What are you trying to do? What is your goal and plan? And I explain them, look, an equipment loan is much cheaper because cash loan is it's high, it's spicy sometimes, and I tell them, look, I don't want to sell you an MCA like a cash advance starting like 25 30%, because you do an equipment is can be 10 or 11 or can be 9, if you have good score. So basically you need like 10% if you have sometimes 100% financing to do the loan. So it's backed up by the equipment, so it's done deal.
Yeah.
It's much
And,
easier. It's much easier, and I have multiple banks that they can say, hey, if no is no, if yes is yes. So we have like a system that it's moving much faster, and yeah, we do equipment, and it's much beneficial to buy equipment because you deducted, you do the section 179 to do the basically you cut it off on the taxes, and it's it's backed up and you're building credit, so
yep.
you don't want to put so much risk on you.
And that's, again, it's good growth. The more trucks you have on the road, the more money you're supposed to be making. So, say supposed to, yeah, we see it now. What industry do you see as getting the most loans approved, and which industry are you seeing gets the least amount of loans approved?
So we were doing like 15, 20 loans a month with government, with the trucking. Now we're doing 2, 3 loans a month because a lot of them it's smoked.
Yep.
But at the same time, you mentioned you gotta grow or you die. So it was this situation. I had clients, they cut some of the trucks like from 50 to 30, and I had some of them they go 20 to 70. So basically growing it was much easier. At least you feel much better psychologically because something's going on rather just than going down, and it's you kind of like getting more negative vibes. And but it's I tell them, look, you gotta understand your identity, you gotta understand who you are and what you like, and what the risk appetite you have, and how you're handling things. But overall, I mean, last year, I was in Phoenix, the conference for this American Association. They have it like they're starting tomorrow, actually, for this year. And a lot of companies they were out. I was saying I'm not gonna get out of the trucking finance because most of the clients they need me now. So I'm gonna stay. We double down. We expand the company, the equipment side. So we still doing it. I mean, we're still doing it. And we're gonna do it. Once the trend's starting to grow, we're gonna have much more clients, and it's why not? I mean,
Now, do you guys help with? It's like, I know one of the big things with driving, especially in the beginning, right? Is insurance wise. It's very hard to drive out of the state that you got your CDL in to start. Um, do you guys require any licensing to get finance for your own?
no. So basically, you just open your LLC. Let's say you're a owner operator, and you just list it to other company that has that, and that's it. You just don't need to have your MC, DOT, or like it
Yep.
doesn't matter. You just show that you're leased to the company, show the lease agreement, and good to go.
Okay.
And it takes
Say,
5, 6 days to get it done.
yeah, no, I mean, it's, I have a couple friends that own their own small little companies.
Fleets.
Yeah, that's a small, small fleet. Gosh, actually, I have a buddy that owns probably 120 trucks, and I love him to pieces. Old guy that you wouldn't have a clue that he has $2 to rub together.
Right.
Funny as shit. And then I have a buddy that owns three. Right, so it's him and his two boys. So that's all they do. But and they work on it themselves. So what? So what about what? Okay, you're in this financing. Is this where you're going to be forever, or are you going to take another step into something else?
Well, eventually we expecting it's gonna be a small correction in commercial, so we're just gonna look for some assets to look for buying, as I mentioned, mobile home parks, maybe some industrial buildings to have like as a retirement. So it's we'll see. But the goal is to buy assets, to buy real estate, commercial real estate, maybe to uh, consider some business like silent partner in some business if they needed financing. So we bring the capital, and we just silent partner, passive partner in the business. So it's kind
That's
of the
the
idea.
best money.
Well, but it depends how you adjust your risk, because it's a lot of scheme, man. I've seen so many schemes, like partner to partner, and like somebody's telling me something, somebody. So I have
Well,
hundreds of deals and a lot of stories behind.
oh man, that's what lawyers are for. You got to get all the paperwork perfect. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think lending's probably my favorite money. Right? It's somebody brings me the deal, I look at it and lend on it, and if it goes well, great. If not, I've done my numbers to take over the asset, and it's usually an asset that I want to take over. So,
yeah, yeah.
um, yeah,
And by
no,
the way,
go ahead.
if if you guys have someone that wanna do a building or something, they're looking and you refer them to us. You kind of introduce you, hey, George is doing that, and like I can run some codes and see what's going on. I pay you 20% of my commission, so it's whatever I make. I give you a referral fee for introduction. So, where any of your listeners, they commercial brokers, they want to get more deals done and actually close, we pay 20% referral fee from our commission. So
That's
it's
fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
because
I say,
you're gonna talk with those business owners anyway, and why not help them?
right. I say we'll always take 20% of commissions. So that'll help us grow.
Well, and people are always looking for money.
Always say we
But that's for commercial real estate only, because the other
Yep.
side it's small ticket and it's.
Yep.
But for commercial real estate, business acquisition, it's we have that referral structure that we would like to participate, because it's why not. I had multiple deals from distressed banks. I used to work for a private equity company. We were buying and selling businesses, buildings, and I have those relationship with the other banks. So there's banking that lend, there's a banking that acquire assets, and sometimes they sell assets because they don't like, they may sell a portfolio. So uh, a lot of times they don't go on the market. They just going through, the small circle of people. So I was able to connect some investors with the sellers, and we got a small piece of that. A good check. So that's where we get the things.
And how do you make that connection with the bank to become the buyer for that before it even goes on the market?
It may not go on the market. They may never go on the market because they don't want to go on the market. They just like have the connection, and I'm part of couple chats with the bank, and I see a lot of things going on over there. A lot of what's going on in the market. Like yesterday, I mean, it was crazy. Yesterday was a historical day. Even I made a post today, saying. If you freaked out over the stock market volatility this past week, it likely means one of these things. Your position is too big, or you don't have a long-term vision, or you don't understand the market moving cycles, and your portfolio should be adjusted accordingly, or you're gambling, or you're watching too much news instead of studying the markets.
It's true. But so I guess how do I create that relationship with the bank so that way I can be the guy to get the off market deal, so that way I get to be in the know. How do you build that relationship?
So I was working with this private equity company, and I was saying, hey, I mean, we have $100 million. That was the actual real amount of money, cash,
Yep.
to buy assets. Sometimes non-performing assets from them, because we had access to the, basically FDIC was reporting all the performing non-performing notes. So when there was like over 10% of the balance sheet non-performing, they forced to sell. So basically I'm reach out to the CFO or the CEO saying, hey, my name is George, I work with this company, I would like to ask if you have something for sale. So it's a structure how to do it. But look, and they're gonna ask you for stuff, and you gotta show something right away. You just can say, "Hey, oh yeah, I represent a group of private investors. Send me deals, and I'll buy them." No, you just they're gonna ask you to show the portfolio and stuff that makes you qualify and trustworthy to even consider you.
Yeah. Now, when you did it, did they make you? Did they when you first started buying? Did they give you a small little test that you had to go spend?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. They,
Yeah.
they give you something, and yeah, I don't have to buy it. I mean, I say, hey, I don't like this or that, and they realize I was like a rational feedback. That's why I don't like it, and why they may not fit my criteria.
Sure.
So it's like
Yeah.
they give you
This-
something and you ghost them. It's a relationship you're building up and keeping up with them. So.
Now,
But
how do you find the CEO of a bank?
well, that's the trick. That's the magic. You gotta find the CEO. You gotta find everyone.
Yeah. I'll say. Because I say when I used to do it, so I worked for an equity company out of Colorado. Right, we had about the same amount, $100 million to go spend. Right, our buy box was very specific. Right, we will only buy 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom houses. It had to have an attached garage. Anything else we wouldn't purchase. Right, so
Okay.
we'd go to a bank. The bank would say, "Hey, this is our portfolio." My job is to then go through it and say, "No, no, 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 no. Oh, well, we're not gonna." And then they'll come back and they'll negotiate, right? And I don't know if they did this to you, but like they'll negotiate and they'll say, "Hey, we're not going to let you take all of these without taking some of
Yeah.
this."
Some of
And
the
so, then
trash.
you eat, yeah, you kind of eat shit, right? On some houses that you're not going to, but you're buying them for, pennies on the dollar, dimes, nickels, quarters,
They just getting stuck into the
right.
file. Like,
Right. And so it's like, hey, look, we need these off the books. So again, it builds that relationship. So you're doing them a favor. You're doing them a favor by also
yep,
padding
yep,
your
yep.
pocket.
Yeah.
Say last night, I acquired, oh, I think I hit $53 million in about 4 months of purchasing. So I did it really quickly, burned myself out, so that's why I'm in this non-working industry now. But right, so like the banks, they want to move too, right? So banks don't like having things on their books for very too long, right? As you mentioned, the FDIC, right? Once you get to a certain level of over leveraged, right? They will come in and take over your bank. They will literally just say,
Oh yeah.
"We now own
It's
you because you suck at life,"
it's
right?
like click,
Right.
freeze. That's it.
Yep.
It's
And
like
so,
no warning or nothing. Because I mean, like when you go over the limit, it's
yeah.
boom. They knock on your door. And how long? What year was that when you were working?
Oh man, how long have I been done working?
You stopped working during COVID.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, so about 2020-ish.
Okay.
So yeah. Um,
A lot of blow-ups. We had one bank was like 70% of our portfolio of loans blow up.
yeah.
Trucks. Yeah.
Yeah, and as I say, you'll find, for me, again, it goes to relationships, right? So, starting out making friends with a teller, then to a personal banker, to an investment banker, to um, depending on how big the bank is, right, to a GM, and you work yourself up. Also, it doesn't hurt to have somebody who can help make that introduction, right? One of my biggest things I tell everybody is somebody always knows somebody, right?
Yeah.
Um, you know, and so me, right, I dress like this, but I have friends that dress in
So
$1,000 suits, right? Whatever. And so, hey, while you're in there, I need this communication, right? And then it's, hey, let's go grab a beer with Nick. And so then it's like, all right, hey, look, this is gonna be social. Nick, you're gonna have to put it's funny because my friends will tell me, hey, you're gonna have to put a collared shirt on. Fuck. But I will always put a collared shirt on because, right? It's a great introduction. And so, you have to do that to meet and shake the right hands, right? Um, you know, somebody that's going to be dealing with $100 million doesn't look like a person like me, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean,
nope, right?
you gotta dress to impress. I
That's
mean, I
it.
have absolutely no problem to put those clothes,
Yep.
imagining those checks. So it's actually really nice. I feel nice. I enjoy doing that.
Yep. Oh yeah, you throw a watch on, you make yourself,
No, I don't like to show up, but I like to
yeah,
because I mean everybody's scanning. I mean in the banking, I went through the schools. I spent over 200 grand just on schools and mentorship, and I mean it's like they scan you in 4 seconds. They already know. Sometimes
yeah,
when I talk with someone on the phone, I in like a couple of minutes, I already see how they look, and then I go on LinkedIn and like they like 70% close to what I
yeah. So,
this
well, and it's, I
that's
mean,
how they teach you to.
oh gosh,
Um,
yes. Human
in
nature
first,
says you judge a person within the first 5 seconds of meeting
yeah.
them, right?
So
It's nothing that we can change, but it's just a thing that kind of happens.
but we can
Um,
improve.
right. So, but I think, when if you're looking to do anything with defaulting loans, the higher up of a person, and again, it never hurts to ask a question, right? I'm going to tell you, there's not a single teller in this world that knows who to connect, right? I wish I could tell you that tellers were but they're not. Tellers are the most friendly people you'll ever meet, for the most part. But they don't know a damn thing, right? They couldn't tell you. They can open a CD for you, but most
Oh
of them
yeah,
don't
yeah.
even know. Most of
I
them don't
never.
even know what a CD does.
They just hire these people off the street and they don't pay them much.
Right, you
Yeah,
know, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. They pay like 15, $20.
right,
I
but
never go to the teller. I don't. No, I just go directly to CFO, and I know my spiel. I know how to talk with them, and a couple of minutes it's a yes or no conversation, and I leave them a voicemail. I have one guy. It was a $2 billion company, and he called me back out of voicemail to his number. So
yeah,
it's that's the power. It's like we were trained properly to by this guy that I was working with him. So I took me 2 weeks just for full training,
yeah.
nonstop, and I was able to have conversation and not shake and get some deals. You know,
Yeah, and that's, I mean, right? It, if it,
preparation. You
I'm
gotta be
not
prepared.
against paying for schooling, right? I mean, you know this about me.
Yeah.
I don't. But I mean, if you know what you're going for and you know what the intention is, there are some good training courses out there, right? There is also some where you pay 20 grand and you don't learn a damn like you can come to Bucks and Brews for free and learn more than what some of these
Oh,
guys are giving
absolutely.
out there, right? Um, you know, one of my first bank, gosh, I'll say one of my first bank introductions, I was buying car insurance when I was younger. I walked in and I had mentioned something about wanting to buy a building, and he's like, "Oh, you should talk to my dad. He owns a bank." And I was like, ah, "What?" And he's like, "No, no, he owns Byron Bank." And I was like, "No shit." And that started this conversation about, here I wasn't 20-year-old kid with a little bit of real estate, and he's like, "Holy shit, you're starting out 400 times better than me." And I was like, "You own a fucking bank, like, no, let's." And he's like, "No, man, like this," and so, but right, like once you get to shake hands with one bank owner, oh yeah,
Yeah.
imagine that he knows every other
Mm-hmm.
bank owner in the area, right? Like,
Yep. 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 I'm 2018 when I start on my own the U.S. business funding. I was reaching out to banks, say, hey, we can work, and like they were like, hey, like you're too young, like you need like 2, 3, 5 years in business. Now on Thursday, I got invited by a big bank here close to my house on a golf course. They have like a dinner presentation stuff style, so like 2 hours networking. I got
yeah,
invited from a bank, so
that's huge, and that's right. You don't need to be a good golfer. You just need to learn how to golf.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
I tell people this all the time.
yeah. I mean, it's so I was focusing on like building up the relationship to understand how people think. And
Yep.
I was at the conference in January, early January in Louisville for the mobile home show. It's really good, and most of the people I there was people they owning like 30, 40 mobile home parks. One home mobile home park can be like 100 units.
Yep.
And I was talking with them, and after a couple of minutes, they asking me what do I do. So that's actually when the conversation gets interested, because like I never tell them, hey, I'm trying to sell you this and that. I just ask them smart question, interesting question, and I'm interested more about them and learn about the business. And by asking the right question, they like the way it works, and it's
Yep.
I, I I I have this guy. We were like at the table having like a break, and there was a guy kind of asking question. The other one was kind of watching, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm here with my dad," and his dad came, and I was explaining to his son like basically in Nashville. So that was in January. So the idea was like in Nashville they built up too many multifamily. So there was situation they were like fighting for tenants. So they were some company they were giving like 6 months free lease just to grab the tenants because like it's
Jeez.
overbuilding.
Yeah.
And actually, he was living in Nashville. He's like, I never thought about that. And his dad started a conversation with me, and eventually find out that his dad he owns like 500 acres and like he has like subdivisions. That's been working for 30 years on those subdivisions. And you
Yep.
never find out this information by trying to pitch someone with something, just by
Yep.
having genuine conversations.
Yep. Sorry, we were sorry right before you hopped on. We were talking about. I'm actually going to be gone for. We have a local conference here, for the Rental Property Owners Association. There's a huge conference going
What
on.
city?
Grand Rapids.
Okay, oh, Michigan.
Yep. And so
Across the lake.
Yep. And so that's coming. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be in Louisiana, but the conference is going to be here. It's a 3-day conference. It's great. But they were talking about going to the Speakeasy. Shout out to them because I love the soccer bar. But they're, it's the biggest meetup of after event, right?
Yeah.
And I said, look, that's where deals get done, right?
Yeah. Oh, the
There's a
drinks.
lunch. Like I do more deals over a beer
Yeah.
than I have anything else. And I was like, oh yeah, I was like, I don't sign paperwork, right? I get you to be friends, and you know what that cost me? $3 for you, $3 for you. Michigan, we have cheap beer. I say, so do you, Wisconsin. You guys are,
Yeah.
you're, like literally. If I go to, sure, so it's $5 if I'm at, I'm buying your drink for $5 to $10, and that literally is going to buy me, so much of your time and knowledge. And people are like, oh, I'm like, look, buy the 6-pack. Tell the waitress, hey, I need a 6-pack, and anybody that wants that, give them to me. But like, it's the best tip you'll ever have. Is just literally buy somebody buy. Oh, I don't drink. Okay, great. Let me get you a vodka, or sorry, let me get you a cranberry juice, right? Let me get you an orange juice. A mixer is what these people call. But like, I'll get you a mocktail. I don't care. You're drinking Perrier, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
say I will buy you some fancy water because it's going to lead to that introduction.
Saratoga.
Right. And so it's huge. Networking is key for me in my industry. So
I mean, it's key in most industries.
I
Honestly.
absolutely agree.
Yep.
So is there any questions that we didn't ask you that you wanted us to ask?
I don't know. You maybe have thousands of questions. I'm ready to ask.
I say we have a million questions. So and then no, I say I guess real quick before we have to depart because you have to get back to work. Some of us are busy. So one of the things I like to ask is, what's the best advice you can give anybody around? It doesn't have to be business; it can be any type of advice. What's the best advice you'd like to give anybody?
Yeah, so before I was expecting things to happen in months and day. Now I look like long term. So let's say if that's whatever thing you want to do, let's say it's gonna take 12 months. I say, okay, I'll give you 15 months. I just want to be like less stress. And in the meantime, I'm gonna study and understand, build up connections to make it less risky for me. Before I pull the plug, I do like a financial commitment to that, and that's like basically educated decision and a rational decision rather than just going by emotions. And like, even though yesterday with the markets, I 2020 my financing business basically stopped because everybody was running with money in both hands by the government. And I went to learn trading for one of the top prop firms in the country. And the idea is like everything is psychological. It's like how many people was selling yesterday morning? They selling when they panic at the freaking bottom. I don't know if it's a bottom or not, but like the worst case scenario, we almost back into the so it's take some time to learn and don't make I tell myself before I make a money commitment, I ask my question, did I take enough time to study to understand, do I understand this? Because blowing up money is really fast. It's easy. And less social media and more doing the things. That's you asked me the lesson. This is less social media, less scrolling, and do more things. Study, learn, listen to conversation, to podcast or whatever, rather than just go scrolling because it's affecting your psyche. And we understand that because we a different age, but the new generation, it's no good. Dopamine, fake dopamine.
Well, and with you,
Mhm.
you invest.
I do.
Did you sell anything yesterday? Did you sell anything last week?
No,
Did you buy?
I did.
I did too.
So,
I didn't.
I
no,
assumed you would.
I manage a few people's retirement accounts at work.
Yep.
And I told them last week, I'm like, just don't look. You know
Just
where
don't
your
look.
retirement.
Yeah.
Leave it be.
Yeah.
I worry if you're 65.
What's up? My mom's at that age, right?
Right.
And I'm like,
I worry about my mom. She's 72.
yeah,
Because she's drawing on that retirement right now.
yeah.
47. I'm not anywhere near drawing my retirement. It can just sit there and do whatever it does.
Yep. And I tell them, hey, when when you see the gains and it's way too good, just take some off. Just take some off and enjoy. Because like the whole thing is to feel it, to enjoy it, or at least to have it cash on your account so you can. Because you're never gonna get like the whole move. Just get the meat of the bone and move on. Move next. It's
Yep.
it's
Well,
simple.
I say, and I mean, if you play it right, sure you had money, but like again, nothing is worth anything unless you sell it, right?
Right.
So, I my betterment, we talk about it all the time for my daughter, right? At one point it was up just close to 10 grand. Now I'm sitting at 5,000, but it's still profit of 5,000. Like
Right.
I've put in 5,000 less money, but like I'm not worried about it. I don't really care. I still have another 9 years till I have to think, well, I might use it for a car, who knows? But like we'll just see. But like
Right.
I still haven't figured out what that money's earmarked for. I just know that I'm gonna keep building it and hopefully I never touch it. And she just gets it when she's like 90 and it's worth 50 million bucks, right?
Right.
Like that's how I give a crap. So anything else, David?
No, I'm good.
Awesome. So, guys, as always, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We appreciate you listening. If you want more episodes like this, I had a great time today. Reach out to us and let us know what you want to hear about.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, George. We'll get all your links put in the show notes so that everybody can find you. I'll share the link once we're live. This will probably go up in a couple weeks.
So, stay with us
Okay.
real quick and we'll finish this.
Yep.
You've dialed in.
To Bucks and Brews, you might hear something
You can use.
like tips on your cash or tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use.
smarts of these stuff.
Cause they know the
And
brews.
they know the Bucks, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, cause shit's not funny.
And save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks.
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
brews.
and brews.
Bucks and brews.